Hey everybody, it's Linda G, and we have Sterling here.
Good morning, everybody.
It's our Sunday bit that you guys, people say, they write me all the time. They will sit by their computer on Sunday and wait for this.
Wow. And you know, it's funny how this all happened on Sundays. We were going to do it occasionally during the week, and we had bandwidth problems. So he said, let's just move it to Sunday morning, and then it became a Sunday morning thing.
And we just started, we just kept doing it. And I'm telling you, they live for it.
Okay, well, it's a lot of fun.
They live for it. They say, I can't wait for you and Sterling on Sunday. I don't really add anything. I just ask you questions. So you had some housekeeping you wanted to do.
Yeah, two quick items. So congratulations to you again. I guess all the subscribers, you're less than 50 subscribers away from the next level, which I think is 41,000 subs.
41,000.
So we're continuing the contest. So anybody that puts a comment in these shows that starts off with love, we know they want to be involved in the contest. We'll pick a winner then from this show and the prior shows for the winner next week of a half-hour session with me. So just want to highlight that the contest is still ongoing.
Okay.
Because you're almost there.
Yeah.
So that was the
so
first.
Probably next Sunday we're picking a winner.
We'll announce the winner, I'm sure.
And how you get into the winning is you make
a comment in these shows, and you start off with the word love.
Okay.
So we know.
Listen, it's not up to Sterling and I to pick the winner. We don't do that, and we also don't pick the questions.
No, this is all being done by the audience. But in terms of the winner, I think it's your Daniel that does the selection.
Okay, but it's not you and I.
No, not at all.
But the questions are done by Daniel and your management, Linda.
They are exactly my executive producer.
Producer Linda.
Of life.
So, don't write me and say, can you ask Sterling? Because they already have the gig. When I write on Sunday, before Sunday, I say, okay, give me your questions for Sunday with Sterling. That's right. Where you put in all the stuff.
Exactly. And then there was this one other housekeeping item I was going to bring up because these questions have come up. The question has come up, how do the famous people come through every Sunday when we do a reading? And so I want to be clear about that it's not accidental, it's very deliberate, but these are, we get requests during the week or in the questions say, please bring through these certain individuals. Right. So what I do during the week is I actually reach out to those individuals on the other side, ask them if they have a message, ask them if they want to talk. So that's how it happens. It's not purely accidental or that's kind of the process, but I want to make that clear because some people had confusion or how that.
So-and-so just showed up sitting on your couch.
Exactly. It's really, we make a request. I mean, just like you would your neighbor or friend say, hey, would you like to talk, kind of a thing. So okay. That's how it works.
That sounds good, my friend. Okay. So we have our questions, not picked by you and I. Wow, this is my first time looking at them. I don't know about you. Okay, from the other side, does Martin Luther King and John Lewis have a message for us? Good question.
They do, and so this was a request this week. So I actually brought through Martin Luther King and John Lewis. They came through together, which was kind of nice because they're together on the other side. One of the most important messages out of the gate that they both want to convey is that their life's work and their continuing work on the other side is about bringing all human rights together. So actually benefiting all human rights and not, let's say, one group's rights at the expense of another group, which they felt like that was getting a little bit foggy. The messaging was getting foggy in today's world, but they wanted all human rights to be honored. So that was one of the big things. The other thing was that John Lewis had put forth, he mentioned, he put forth, I don't know, 10 or 20 bills in Congress or something of that nature that had been proposed. And he actually, from his vantage point, saw a lot of them would go through Congress, get approved during the Biden administration. So he's very happy about that. So that was kind of the big message they want to bring through, that they're working, and also that both of them are fully supporting Biden and Kamala from the other side.
Fantastic. So. What about the voting rights bill that Trump disintegrated? Will that come back?
That's all going to get restored and redone. Yeah, it will. And then, of course, they both spend a large part of their life around the Voting Rights Act. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I'm just going to put, my sound is a little low. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Will Emily Murphy, Trump's GSA administrator, face legal charges for her role not certifying Biden's election?
I think the nature of the question is, will she, encounter any legal difficulty? Here's the thing: within a week, It may even be just a couple of weeks. That's all going to get resolved. So she'll release. She'll actually authorize the GSA to then release and recognize Biden as the new president-elect.
Okay.
So there won't be legal problems for her, and I do see her now. All within a week or two here, she'll now approve it. So
she's almost forced to.
I mean, you know, the jig's up, as they say, right? I mean, how long can you deny that Biden is the president-elect? So.
Well, Pennsylvania just kicked out one of their lawsuits, and I don't think they could screw with Michigan. I see Michigan going through.
No, and in fact, remember a lot of the congressmen from Michigan visited the White House. Were there 8 of them this week?
Yeah.
Because Trump was trying to persuade the Electoral College vote, and they said basically, hands down, no way.
Yeah, but listen, let me ask you something. They got to stay at the Trump Hotel and they were drinking champagne.
Well, yeah, there's no accounting for taste.
Right. I think there might be some trouble there.
Or the optics of the way things look. Yeah.
Right. Mitch now says he would like to get the stimulus done during the lame duck session. Do you see that happening?
Surprisingly, I do. It looks to me like both Nancy and Mitch will get together on some sort of a plan to put through some kind of relief. I do. And I think part of that is because Mitch now feels like, obviously the writing's on the wall because of Trump. And so now he won't be a power broker like he was before. So he's going to have to get along a little bit better. So I do see something coming. Yeah.
Well, his people in Kentucky are starving. Mm-hmm. So if he wants those 2 senators to be voted in while they're struggling, where's the what do you call it? Where's the beef? Why would they vote for these people when they're doing nothing for them?
Right.
Okay. I've known several people with dementia who claim they see little people. Interesting. Walking around all the time. Is their dimension allowing them to see other life forms or dimensions that the rest of us don't notice?
So regarding people with dementia, they actually, you know, I refer to that sometimes people have 1 foot on the other side and 1 foot here. So I'll say this, I can't speak to little people per se. What I can speak to is that when you've got dementia, you actually do start talking with relatives and people from the other side, even your angels. So you actually see sometimes people in homes they're actually talking with somebody else on the other side. And people think they're mumbling. I'll tell you this also, when you get very, very close to passing away, maybe it's a tragic accident. I'm reminded of the story about Sam Kinison, the comedian.
Right.
He got on that head-on collision, and really just before he passed on, he was arguing really with the angels. He was saying, "Really, now?" And then he said, "Okay." So the closer you are to
and
that,
all people were gathered around him, and they all heard that. And he looked like he was going to be okay, but his chest, I guess, when he hit his chest with the steering.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? I just got a big cold chill, which is like a Sam Kinison coming through. Wow. So it's an acknowledgement of that story. I think he was very happy. Yeah.
Did you ever get to meet him?
I did. Yeah.
Was he as crazy in as a regular?
Yeah. Well, he had kind of a lot of demons. You know what I mean? In comedy, in order to be a good comic, you have to have a lot of demons. So the way he was raised in this home and all that. So I felt like he was always fighting those kind of demons, those comedy. Right.
He got a little overkill for me. I almost saw him at the Circle Star Theater in Oakland when it was still. Yeah. But he died before that happened. And then that first HBO special he had, I own it.
Right.
That one where he says that, yeah, right, Jesus, Jesus couldn't have been married because she would have said, "Okay, Mr. Man, where are your loser friends? Where have you guys been?"
Yeah, exactly. It's very, very good special.
And then he does that being on the cross. Will somebody hand me a ladder?
Very good stuff. Yeah.
Is there a money pit on Oak Island? If so, will they find it?
There was a money pit on Oak Island, but unfortunately it's no longer there. And what I get is that there's been significant water damage, erosion, both erosion underground and even above ground. So whatever was there is now kind of been swallowed up by the earth, so to speak. It's gone. So okay. What was there is gone. Yeah.
What will happen to the senators that went to Russia on July 4th? And wasn't that Lindsey Graham too? Lindsey Graham was one, Cotton was one.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact. I think there were 8 of them altogether. Weren't there 8 of them? I think it was.
Uh-huh.
Was that 2018? I think was the year that that occurred.
It's when Trump was
Uh,
in office.
yeah. Actually, the FBI has some very good records about all the discussions and things that went on. So a lot of that was recorded, and
Ah,
all that's going to be part of some indictments coming up. So there's like a phone book full of indictments coming down, on the White House and all the friends and it's going to be pretty spectacular.
oh, I have to tell you something, you guys, real quick. Let me tell you. And you might have already heard this because I read for people that are part of this not this administration, but kind of are in the know of
Mhm.
what's going on. Even people who's worked on The Apprentice and stuff like that. Apparently, there was a blackout of all, like, you could no-fly zone with where Biden lived, and that was done by the Secret Service
Mhm.
because they felt like Biden would win, and they were afraid of somebody doing something terrible to Biden. But that's how fearful they were. They did a no-fly zone. They blacked it out, and they were watching Biden more than anybody.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean that would include things like drones too. You can
Yeah,
do a lot of things with drones and sort of delivering hazards. So yeah.
I just want to tell you that because I just
Yeah.
remembered. I wanted to get off my chest. Will the Democrats win the Senate race in Georgia? Please, please say yes.
Here's what I get on that, and so I'll start off by saying yes, but it
Oh,
is
for
such
me,
a
one.
it is such a nail biter because it's going to be like a neck and neck race because of cheating going on there. So I feel like when they finally do win, it's almost like, by 1,000 votes or something, it's like so close, but they will win, but it's just going to be, I see it going right down to the wire. It's like win, lost, and then it'll finally get it over the line. But there's a lot of manipulation going on. Now that recount is set for early January, isn't it? Is the recount for those seats? We're talking about the Georgia
Yeah, I
seat
didn't realize they're doing they did a
or the,
recount for the president, and Biden still won.
yeah, I got to go back and check my information, but because nobody got over 50%, I think they had to do but I don't think that occurs till early January. I'm just checking my memory. But anyway, it's coming up. I do believe they're going to make it. They're going to win. They'll be very close. Mhm.
Okay, and the other thing I've picked up, I don't know if you watched my videos, but I definitely got a strong feeling that it won't be like when Trump was in office. You better vote on our side, or you're crap. I feel like people like Susan Collins, that other gal from Alaska, people like Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
I feel they will go to the other side. If they think it's a good bill, they'll vote on behalf of what they think is right.
Yeah, there's
They're
going to
not
be
going to go by I'm a Republican, you're a Democrat, which is what's happening now.
yeah, be much more even keel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just reminded here, I've just got a thought here that I should share with you that, when the new attorney general gets assigned under Biden, I'm going to go on record as saying I do believe it's a woman. It's a
It's got
taller.
to be Sally Yates then. They put the names of who's up.
I think so.
Merrick
Yeah.
Garland, Sally Yates. I think she's the only woman.
Yeah. But I meant to tell you that because you and I hadn't talked in a while, but I do believe it's going to be a woman will be the new attorney general. That's what my guides told me. So I think it'll be great.
Okay. And Doug Jones is another one.
Okay.
But I felt like it was going to be Sally Yates.
Yeah. I think my guys didn't give me the name, but it's like is she a taller woman? Because I saw kind of
very well put together. She would look kind of like, she's better looking than Joni Ernst, but she testified, and
right.
she is just totally with it. And they fired her. They fired her because she went and warned them about Flynn.
Right. Right.
And I think it's going to be wonderful.
It will be. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you for that tidbit of information. Will there be a significant advancement in cancer treatment, especially for ovarian and breast, within the next 2 years?
Was that the next few years?
Yeah, within the next few years.
Few years.
Next 2 years. Next 2 years.
Yeah, no, I don't see it that fast. I think this has come up before. it looks to me like there's about another 10-year run here, but there's so much tied to this, and we talk about other shows, gene splicing breakthrough. So there's been a lot of laboratory breakthroughs on gene splicing therapies, and they're going to apply to a whole host of cancer diseases and preventative medicine. So that, for me, that's like, it's still about 10 years off, like 2030, but it's coming. So.
Okay. Will Biden reverse the last minute auctions of untouched Alaskan wilderness for drilling? Yes.
Essentially, the answer is yes.
Yes.
But some of them, I feel like what they're telling me is half of them will be completely reversed. Others will have measures put in place that would like limit what can be done. Something about the way they drafted the legal agreements, they have to tax some of them a little bit differently. Some of them they can just reverse and nullify. Others they're going to have to put something else in place as you can drill, or whatever this is, but only like on a 10 foot by 10 foot piece of land as opposed to acres. They'll figure out a way to get around it. So,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Will the administration disband ICE?
No, they won't disband it. But what I get is that they'll actually put an oversight board in place of like a dozen, senators, right? So it'll be like, half and half, almost equally represented. But I see an oversight board of like a dozen elected officials that will help then review ICE policies, that kind of thing. So it won't run open loop anymore.
Okay, cool. It'll be a better ICE.
Yeah.
Will we survive climate change, and what will mankind look like in 100 years from now?
Yeah, and this has come up on other shows too. I think we looked at 2050, and so now we're looking at 50 years beyond that. I mean, the landscape of Earth is going to be different. There will be a lot of environmental change. There'll be reasons why people will be living in what I call biospheres. Some of that technology is already being developed. People will live underground, they'll live underwater, but there'll be environmental changes just due to the fact the air won't be as breathable, and there'll be other earth forces, whether it's floods or it's earthquakes, they'll make some places inhabitable. So anyway, yeah, it's going to change, but it's a lot more biospheres over here. Yeah.
Do you see another government shutdown occurring after December 11th? The continuing resolution ends on that day.
What I get it'll actually be a very small blip in time. So maybe 1 to 2 days, there'll be like a time when we'll get shut down. Then like on the third day, it comes back again. So
like he's forced to do it?
Yeah, it looks like some sort of a little blip. I get 1 to 2 days, it'll be shut down and come back.
Will 45 sell intelligence resource and methods to foreign governments to pay down his own debts?
So some of that has already happened. What I'll call even intellectual capital has already been traded out, for favors. So some of that's already taken place. Yeah.
Jared giving the location of that Washington reporter.
Yeah. All that's already being done in terms of a bartering, and it will continue. So unfortunately, that's one of the risks to 45. When he gets out of office, it's an ongoing risk, but I do feel the FBI is going to be watching him pretty closely. So.
When I asked that question, I heard as clear as day someone say they'll be watching him like a hawk.
So they're going to be all over him, yeah.
And that they may maybe even give him fake information or something to see. But I see them capturing Trump, like when he goes to start to do that. He's going to have so many troubles, it's not even funny.
He will, yeah.
Why do some people have psychic abilities while others don't?
So interestingly enough, everybody has psychic ability, and actually everybody's born with it. Interestingly enough, if you talk to small children, everybody has psychic and mediumship ability, which is why they'll talk to grandparents that passed away that they never met. Now, people tend to grow out of it by like 5 or 6 years old. I tell people this. You can reactivate the gift later on in life. Now, not everybody is going to, be expert at it. Some people at birth can play Chopin. Other people at 50 years old can't play chopsticks, right? So people have different levels of ability. but you can definitely bring it all back. So I think the question there is everybody's psychic and a medium to a certain extent. But you have to kind of work with the gift, almost like musician. You have to practice a little bit and perfect it.
Yeah.
Everybody can do it.
What is the future of prescription drugs with Jeff Bezos, Amazon, now offering prescription drugs? Will this change the industry?
Yes, it's the beginning of change, because now that's what this does is it sets up the pharmaceutical industry to be much more competitive. So this is now competition creeping in and other ways of satisfying drug needs, medical needs, actually complement things like Medicare for all, the medical programs coming in place. So, I mean, Jeff Bezos and his new pharmaceutical plans are part of the process of competition coming in. Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us how Brexit is going to end up for the UK? Will Boris resign? I think this has been asked many Sundays ago.
It has, yeah. First off, I did not see him resigning. I do see Brexit coming to a conclusion towards the end of this year. So they'll get that done. What I also see is almost for like another 4 years, a lot of trade deal problems. So they're going to get most of Brexit worked out, except for all the trade deals with the European Union. Okay. So that's just going to go on for like 4 years, unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay. Will Biden-Harris administration discover money is missing from different government agencies?
They already have. So that's they already have.
I saw it clear as day when he's.
They already have a one. Yeah.
When he's
have a laundry list.
Yeah, I see Biden actually telling the American people,
yep,
we have discovered this, and this, these things are missing. It's a huge amount of money.
Absolutely.
Yep. It's going to be, Trump and his cronies have taken so much money. It's like they had truckloads, and that will be out in the open. And that might even help the Trumpsters to say, wait a second.
Yeah.
We're over here struggling and he's living off our taxpayers' money. Will Rudy Giuliani go down with SDNY investigation?
Yeah, there's actually an avalanche of investigations around the SDNY. So, but he's going to get caught up in the avalanche. It's almost like the avalanche is so big of all the litigation, and because everybody's interconnected, all these negotiations and financial. So yes, I mean, the answer is absolutely yes.
Oh, yes. How'd you like that stuff dripping down his face?
Yeah.
People were saying, look at his hair dye. I said, no, that's brain matter.
Okay.
Once in office, will the Mueller report be unredacted?
Yes, absolutely. And in fact, it looks like it'll be made even available to the public. Yep. So it'll be a much more complete version available to the public. Yeah.
I see them wanting to talk to him again, but I don't see Mueller really, even though Trump is gone, really not wanting to get back involved. I think he's tired of the whole thing.
I also feel that the legal community and the political community has actually moved beyond the Mueller report. And what I mean by that was they know exactly what's there. They don't have to revisit it necessarily.
Okay.
So now they're like moving on. So they've established criteria from that report, and now they're moving on with it.
Okay. So. What are the psychological effects going to be on our youth from having from having to grow up during a pandemic? That's so funny. I was thinking of the same thing. These poor kids, my grandson, he literally is missing a whole year of school.
Yeah, he is. As you know, nothing ever happens for, everything always happens for a reason. So one of the things I see is that the effects on kind of the younger kids on this is almost a greater appreciation for the world, what can happen, responsibility, the fact that not everything is completely granted to you and automatic and guaranteed. So it's not a bad lesson. It's a lesson more to be more responsible to the world and to each other. So I actually see some good coming out of it.
They watched, I'm way older than you, but back in my day, it was, we did, at the school, you did things for nuclear bombs.
No, I remember that in school too. You hide under the desk.
Under the desk. And it wasn't going to help you, but let's just fake it like it will. But And I remember that fear of knowing that at any time we could, be hit.
Right,
I know
right.
that fear.
Exactly.
And so I wonder if our children are kind of like living in that.
They are.
Will DeJoy go to jail? Please say yes. No, say what they tell you.
Yeah, yeah. For him, I see him involved in a lot of personal litigation. So it's like there were some things done. Here's the thing: a lot of the things he did at the post office, he's going to plead it was Trump that asked him to do it. So he operated under authority.
Okay.
But interestingly enough, when they investigate him, there's a lot of personal matters that are subject to litigation. So he does have some legal difficulty. Don't see him landing in jail, but I do see some very large fines and probation, some other things going on his personal side.
So he'll have to cough up a lot of his own money.
He will. Yeah.
And listen, did they ever get a hold of all those ballots that were sitting that the judge was saying, take them down to the ballot? Did they ever do that? Or hundreds and hundreds of ballots?
For me, I thought that broke out into several different groups of ballots that were a problem. So I know they got a lot of them. I guess I don't know if they got all of them, but they got the majority. So.
Okay. You made a reference to soul families. How many souls are in such a family? Do we necessarily meet them during our time on Earth?
So in reference to soul families, usually on the other side, there could be hundreds and hundreds of individuals in our extended families, not just people that we knew on Earth, but ancestors, hundreds and hundreds. And interestingly enough, in soul families, animals also travel. So animals you've had during prior lives, you're reincarnated, animals are part of your soul family on the other side. So everybody's interconnected, many hundreds of individuals, yeah.
Oh, that's great. Hold on, my phone fell. Okay, now, will gene research ever eradicate atrial fib? If so, when?
Yeah, that still gets back to more of the breakthroughs again around all the gene splicing technology. So, I mean, the answer is yes.
Okay.
But again, that's still, just to keep everybody on target here, it's a good decade away. There's many advancements over the next number of years here around gene technology, gene splicing, and then a decade out, it gets very usable. So a lot of companies, a lot of medical companies then know how to use it. So yeah.
I used to have atrial fib. I had a girlfriend that died of it.
Wow.
You don't mess around with it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Makeup. Are shows like Neil deGrasse Tyson, Star Talk, and Ancient Aliens a way of getting Earthlings prepared for contact with aliens?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's all part of a larger process, a larger plan to kind of bring everybody up to speed. Absolutely. Yeah.
So does Neil deGrasse Tyson does he talk about aliens?
That's a good question. I have not watched a lot of his shows recently.
I saw him in Oakland. I watched his speech and he did a great speech, but I think he's not a believer, or if he does, he knows there's got to be something else, but he's not like Ancient Aliens. They're all over it.
Yeah, and I want to frame it up that way, is that my take on what Neil does is he brings about the knowledge that there's many, there's millions of universes beyond our universe, and lots of other life forms could be out there, lots of ways of exploring the galaxy. He opens up the possibility, but then the show Ancient Aliens have like what Linda Moulton Howe on all the time. And
very interesting. I enjoy it myself. Will the Biden administration tear down construction that has disseminated tribal land and wildlife refuges?
Yes. But that's going to be during like the first 4 years kind of a thing. So yeah, there'll be a plan. It looks like there's a proposal put in place during the first 100 days or year, and then they could put it in effect over the 4-year period. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. When we make wishes on pennies or clovers or shooting stars, does heaven really listen?
Yes, kind of two answers to that question. First off, every time you speak to heaven and your guides, your angels, your family members, they all hear you. They hear you. Now, because I think the question of when you place a wish on pennies or something like that, does heaven hear you? Well, they hear you even without the money. So
Right.
that's necessary. But interesting, on the other side, there's certain things the other side can manipulate in our environment. Money and change is one of them, like leaving pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, middle of a room, which you should have never been there. So kind of a two-part answer to that question. They always hear you, and then they can also affect money. But the actual wish on the money, it doesn't really matter what you're wishing on. You could wish on a flower, kind of the same
It's the
effect,
same thing. You're focusing
right?
and you're taking out all the chatter and you actually literally push out something that you want. And then sometimes if you're vibrationally matching it, you'll get it.
And the way it works, by the way, on the other side, when you think it, you are there. So let's say if a spirit was over in Europe and then you're in Northern California and you ask them to come in, as soon as they think it, they're there. It's instantaneous.
Wow.
So as energy moves around, yeah.
Right. Do animals choose the situations of their incarnation?
They do, and this speaks to, we were just talking about spiritual families on the other side. So actually, a lot of animals that you have are part of your extended spiritual family. So they do choose how they're coming into the family and how they're being reincarnated because they want to be around you. So that is
Right.
part of it, yeah.
Well, those two dogs love me so much. These ones I have now, they could pass and they'll still be with me. They're like, they think they're puppies still, but they're big old dogs. And
Sure.
they lay on me like they're puppies. Oh my God. I can't go to the bathroom. I can't do nothing.
Yep.
Do you see anything coming up for next week?
Yes, so it's a little bit of more of the same. So I'll cover that really quickly. I do see, discussions, Trump trying to investigate pardons for himself and the family. I do see more Supreme Court challenges coming up.
Is the Supreme Court going to take it?
Well, no, it's one of those things where they look at it and they dismiss it, right? So there's more of that happening.
Because they just got turned down by Philadelphia, but
Right.
Rudy was all, oh, that's good because now we can take it up the chain. Well, Philadelphia's Supreme Court is Democrats.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of more of the same. I know Biden and Harris are going to release more of their plans and programs this week. I know this is already in the news, so this isn't necessarily psychic. I think he's releasing his cabinet names this week. I think I saw
Even
that.
the DOJ?
Good question. I didn't see that referenced, but I saw that he's going to make some sort of announcement. So that's going to happen this week.
But when this gal opens up the door, finally, he can really start getting everybody, because they have to go through their background checks and all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And it wouldn't surprise me because I saw this new, attorney general being a woman, whether that gets leaked out a little bit this week or next week, some discussion about it. So I think that's all coming up. So, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And, he just turned what, 78?
I think so. Yeah.
And I think he looks fantastic.
Right.
Okay. The main thing is he's organizing an administration.
He is. Yeah.
And that's what they were saying on the news. It's going to be weird us actually having an administration with legal stuff taking place, not this outrageous stuff, following the rules. We're just so used to this off the cuff guy just deciding. Oh, yeah, he just decided to change the Constitution and say that even if you were born in America, you're not a citizen automatically. He just decided he's going to write that as an executive order.
Yeah, well, it'll be nice to have adults back in the White House, really people that are caring, and it's he's been a mess. He's been a mess.
And I think he that rhetoric and that hate, a lot of those people love it, but I do feel a lot of people will start noticing things are better in America and they might kind of back away from all that rhetoric. I hope so. Do you have it? Well, even getting an education is going to be a little easier. Do you have any information that you guys want to share?
They do, and this goes along like in prior weeks of what we're talking about. But this message came up very strong this week to share with everybody. It's trust the universe. Trust the universe has a plan, and that plan's being worked out. So that just means, go with the flow, trust your guides, trust the angels, trust the universe. it is working. It's all working out very nicely. It's going to work out.
My guys always told me, Linda, are you sure Biden's going to win? And my guys were like, just stand in faith. This too shall pass.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
I've covered a lot of ground, as we always do every week.
And not only do all the people on the show enjoy this, but I enjoy it too. I have a good time with you.
Yeah, it's good getting together. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
always.
fun. So you guys, we're signing off. Don't forget, next week we are going to
The contest.
we're going to do the contest.
Also, I just thought I throw out there, if anyone needs to book a session with me, it's sterlingpsychicmedium.com.
And I get a lot of feedback on that.
Yep, exactly.
And, oh my God, Linda, I had my Sterling reading and I loved it.
Oh, good. And by the way, I guess happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there,
Yes,
right?
happy Thanksgiving, you guys.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
And you know what? The time is flying by. I mean, it's already 22nd?
Yeah.
We just had the election. So you guys, don't worry. This too shall pass. He's still
Right.
going to create some chaos, but it's getting ready to end.
I see a lot of people putting up their holiday decorations very early, Christmas decorations. So
Right. I
okay.
already have a little tree, but I'm not entertaining. So, okay, my friend.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right. Always good.
Guys.